where I'm standing without power at, in that 131,000 number. Let's go down to Florida, though. They also have their fair share of power issues, tree damage. Let's go to Tevin Wooten. He's in Tallahassee, which is so famous, Tevin, for those huge oak trees and the Spanish moss and the beautiful streets, but that can be a detriment when you have a storm like this come through.
Yeah, Mark, it certainly can. In fact, I can smell the pine straws and the pine needle here in Tallahassee, in the neighborhood where I am. About 100,000 people without power, and this is why. I mean, you've got tree after tree, neighborhood after neighborhood, giant tall pine trees here that have toppled over here in Tallahassee onto those power lines. So about 100,000 people without power. The good news is crews are on standby. They should be out as soon as this threat is over. So what is the threat right now? We still have wind gusts around 30 to 40 miles an hour. And here's another example of those trees coming down. This one actually came down and is dangling on some power lines. But take a look at this video here. This is what happens when you have the perfect timing, almost meteorological, right? This guy caught this video, or person caught the video of a tree falling at the right moment here in Tallahassee as it toppled over. And there it goes right there. You can hear that crack. And then, of course, once it makes that landing, we caught up with the mayor. We talked to him. He was out earlier today surveying some of the damage, too, to kind of pass the word on to those utility crews. We have seen a utility crew come through out here, this neighborhood, for the better part of an hour to an hour and a half. So they are trying to survey the damage initially, and then they'll be able to come out. They've got crews from Texas and Oklahoma and Nebraska on standby to get those lights back on as soon as possible. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Everyone age 65 and older needs to hear it. The flu and its complications can be deadly, especially for those with a chronic medical condition. Ask your healthcare provider for a senior flu shot. Do it today before the flu becomes an emergency.
Incomparable design makes it beautiful. State-of-the-art technology makes it brilliant. The Lexus NX. Experience the crossover in its most visionary form. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Millions of people across the country are losing weight and improving their health. What do we all have in common? Nutrisystem.
Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month. It's your favorite foods made healthier.
No counting, no measuring, no weigh-ins.
Order your 28-day plan and save 40% off every program.
Join the millions who have lost weight and improved their health. Go online right now.
Order Nutrisystem now, and for a limited time, save 40% off every program, plus get probiotic shakes free.
Moving. That's harder now because of psoriatic arthritis, but you're still moved by moments like this. Don't let psoriatic arthritis take them away. Taltz reduces joint pain and stiffness and helps stop the progression of joint damage. For people with moderate to severe psoriasis, 90% saw significant improvement. Taltz even gives you a chance at completely clear skin. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, you should be checked for tuberculosis. Taltz may increase risk of infections and lower your ability to fight them. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, symptoms, or received a vaccine or plan to. Inflammatory bowel disease can happen with Taltz, including worsening of symptoms. Serious allergic reactions can occur. For all the things that move you, ask your doctor about Taltz.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same. But while some push high-commission investment products, Fisher Investments avoids them. Some advisors have hidden and layered fees. Fisher Investments never does. And while some advisors are happy to earn commissions from you, whether you do well or not, Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when you do better. Maybe that's why most of our clients come from other money managers. Fisher Investments, clearly better money management.
Combine the right things and something amazing happens. That's our inspiration for Fancy Feast medleys. Wild salmon primavera tastes amazing. Also in pate, Fancy Feast medleys.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night fast with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
Olay Deep Hydrating Eye Gel breaks through the competition. Olay Eyes with B3 Complex hydrates better than $100, $200, even $400 eye creams. That's something to see. Olay.
The winds are whipping here in Cordele, Georgia. Hi, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mark Elliott reporting just off of I-75 here in Cordele. Winds have been steadily increasing and, just down the road a bit. Albany, Georgia, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts a little bit earlier on today as what was left of that core from Michael came right on through. Now, that is what's headed in this direction, and it's why the winds have been steadily increasing. It's why things have gone from bad to worse from about 5 p.m. till about now. It was really incredible how things changed out here, going from almost just drizzle and reasonably calm conditions, maybe the occasional rain shower, to this on again, off again battering of the wind that we have going on right now. We also saw the power outages increasing steadily. The amazing number to talk about in Georgia. Remember, this landfall was in Florida, and it's why we caution you about the tree canopied, real estate that this storm is going through still. 131,000 customers in Georgia without power right now. And in the area I'm standing, about 8,000 plus customers. And that number could go up as well because the winds are still going. They're still cranking. So the wind is a big part of the problem. Obviously, the trees are a big part of the problem, too. We've seen lots of trees coming down in basically anywhere in the path of this storm. So that is a huge issue that continues tonight. But want to bring in this. This is a video from down towards the coast, Panama City Beach, where, though sure, the wind was a problem, don't get me wrong, but the storm surge is just something that you cannot hide from. You have to run from the water. You can hide from the wind. You can get a big sturdy building away from that storm surge zone and just kind of tough it out. But when that water comes in, it is so damaging. I want to bring in Chris Bruin, who is still in the Panama City Beach area. Chris, unbelievable with that water marching through. It has so much force, right? It's not just the water rise, it's also the wave action on top of that, battering down buildings. And we saw that through coastal community to coastal community today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it started even yesterday, Mark. I mean, we saw the waves really start to increase yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, then, of course, overnight. It'll be interesting, Mark, to see the piers, how they fared once the sun comes back out tomorrow. But I want to get an update on your location. We're getting word there's about 325,000 customers without power here in the state of Florida. I would say the majority of Panama City is without power. We were on the western eye wall, Mark, so thankfully we didn't deal with as much storm surge as, say, Mexico Beach, which is a complete devastation. How are the trees faring there? Yeah. Because I noticed at the coast, the palm trees, they're holding up nicely. The pine trees, a whole different story. We've seen them cover people's houses, block roads. I mean, completely snapped. Is that the same? I know Cordele in southern Georgia has a ton of pine trees.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys can still hear me. We just lost some of our lights, so I'm coming to you in a much darker view all of a sudden, Chris, because even our lights have gone down now. So we still have cell service in the area. We still have some power way off in the distance. No power from immediately where we're standing. I know you were mentioning that. And then the winds are just absolutely howling at this point. It's hard for me to stand up straight at times because they're coming from different directions at this point. I think we're getting closer to the center of the storm. And let me tell you, the sounds out here are just wild. We are getting some cracking in the distance where there are some trees off behind me. I picked a spot near the building but away from the trees, and I also kind of surveyed what was downwind because there are some signs nearby that are doing that flip back and forth move. I don't want them taking off and clocking me in the side of the face either. So that's why I'm standing where I am, even though it's now standing in the dark. Chris, what about for you, though, through the heart of the storm? What did it sound like? What was it like out there when this storm was blasting on in?
I don't even know if words can describe it. I mean, you hear first off, everyone talks about the howling it makes. It just howls. But then it whips around the building, and it's something completely hard to even imagine unless you've ever been in a hurricane. It's frightening at times in the heart of the worst of the weather. I mean, at times you feel like your building's going to fall over. You feel like you may not make it. I mean, you can see the result of the damage here behind me. I mean, look at this marina, just completely covered. It really does look like a war zone. If you've ever ridden some of the rides at Universal Studios where they have kind of the props, they have the water spewing out from the pipes, kind of trying to recreate an earthquake or some sort of disaster. I mean, that's what it feels like, just standing here now after the fact and just seeing everything. What you're also not seeing is it smells like gas. You have water leaking, water main breaks. You have not only loss of power, mandatory boil water notices for all of Bay County. You have no cell service for most carriers, very little, if any, connection to the outside world. Hard to make any calls. I mean, it's just a really tough spot. So for those who evacuated and are wondering, okay, when do I come back? Because the weather's going to be really nice tomorrow, okay? You don't want to come back tomorrow, folks. There's going to be so many roads that are closed. Once all these additional help from the Florida Highway Patrol and state troopers come in to block off roads, I mean, it is really a danger zone. And then you bring in the fact that it's nighttime. There are no street lights. It's completely dark. Getting around is really a danger to you and those who have to rescue you if you get yourself caught. We were even driving, and you see these telephone lines and power lines just kind of hanging out. We'll have much more coverage right here when we return.
And Chris, without power here...
Don't wait for a chip like this to crack your whole windshield. With Safelite's exclusive resin, you get a strong repair that you can trust. Plus, with most insurance, a Safelite repair is no cost to you.
Really? Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
In 2 days, discover the man behind the legend.
We need to fail down here so we don't fail up there.
There's no easy way to say this. They're gone, Neil. We need you to be commander.
5. What are the chances this is the last time the boys are going to see you?
4.
Somebody got a Swiss Army knife?
Swiss Army knife.
3. We have serious problems. 2.
Good luck.
First Man, rated PG-13.
You never forget your first race. And you never back down from the next. You're the brotherhood of muscle.
Your brain is an amazing thing. But as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials, Prevagen has been shown to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, healthier brain, better life.
COPD makes it hard to breathe. So to breathe better, I go with Anoro.
COPD tries to say go this way. I say I'll go my own way with Anoro.
Once Daily Anoro contains 2 medicines called bronchodilators that work together to significantly improve lung function all day and all night. Anoro is not for asthma. It contains a type of medicine that increases risk of death in people with asthma. The risk is unknown in COPD. Anoro won't replace rescue inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than once a day. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition, high blood pressure, glaucoma, prostate, bladder, or urinary problems. These may worsen with Anoro. Call your doctor if you have worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain while taking Anoro.
Ask your doctor about Anoro.
Get your first prescription free at Anoro.com.
Today's Best Western rewards you in a flash. Get a free night fast with points that never expire at over 4,200 hotels worldwide. And get double rewards points on every stay. Book now at bestwestern.com.
At the dinner table, nobody talks about football. I like to teach them there's more important things in life. My name is Ted Ginn. I eat Stouffer's lasagna, and I hunger.
There's luggage that falls apart and luggage that costs more than a plane ticket. Now, there's something new. The perfect suitcase. Meet away, thoughtfully designed luggage that charges your phone, fits everything and never breaks, and lasts forever. Try any suitcase for 100 days. Visit awaytravel.com.
More devices, more apps, more streaming.
Today, we need more speed than ever to stay connected, so we're making the best in-home Wi-Fi experience even better. We're giving our customers faster speeds and including them in our most popular plans at no additional cost. We've increased our speeds 17 times in 17 years, so you can keep streaming, sharing, and connecting like never before. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Please, help us stop the killing today.
Breaking news for National Hurricane.
All the rain in the forecast created the opportunity for the perfect crime.
Storm of Suspicion. All new episodes Sunday nights at 8.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, low 78. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 90. Chance of rain 80%. Thursday night, late night thunderstorms. Low 76. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back into our coverage here of Michael here. I am meteorologist Tevin Wood, live for you in Tallahassee, Florida, a place known for its beautiful towering pine trees, the canopy oak trees, and of course they're beautiful until they come down on the ground, and that is what we've seen neighborhood after neighborhood here in the city of Tallahassee. We think about 100 roads have been impacted in the city, one of those being Thomasville Road. Take a look at this video here. You've got this tree covering, I think this is the northbound lane of the road, or the right side of the road there, and this is a main thoroughfare. For anyone that knows Tallahassee, you likely know Thomasville Road. It gets you to I-10, which gets you over towards eventually to Thomasville, Georgia. But here in Tallahassee along Thomasville Road, that road is going to be closed down until those crews can come out and get to that tree, chop that tree down, get it out of the way, and get any power lines and debris out of the way too. And it's not just at Thomasville Road. Let's come back to where I am right now. This is what you see across different neighborhoods here in Tallahassee. Right behind me here, look at this tree. It actually snapped. That's where it came from, came down onto those power lines there, and now it's dangling on top of that wire. We talked to the mayor earlier today. He said that the crews are going to get out as soon as possible, but here's the thing. Wind gusts have been around 30 to 40 miles an hour. Even tonight, this has been the 12th hour we've seen tropical storm force gusts, and so he's saying they'll get out when they can, but they have to wait for the winds to die down. In the meantime, though, residents should maintain and stay inside their homes until it's safe. Take a listen.
The message we're sending to our residents is you may not feel the rain, you may not see it, but please, please, please stay in your homes. These trees are able to come down. The ground is saturated. We don't want anybody taking precipitous action that they made it through the storm and then we've done something silly afterwards that is life-threatening.
And we've already seen one death in Gaston County from a tree that came down. That's still a threat here in Tallahassee as the winds continue to howl and gust tonight. And do want to get this bit of information out. Tallahassee Airport will open tomorrow midday for commercial flights. Now let's go to Panama City where Chris Bruin is.
Hey, Tevin, I'm very familiar with all those roads you mentioned, Thomasville Road, Rose Street. I mean, beautiful canopy roads like Old Bainbridge Road, Meridian Road, and also Miccosukee Road, but those are going to be a tough routes to go to anytime soon with all the down trees. All right, here in Panama City is quite a different story. Of course, we were at the coast. We were on the western eye wall, and this was the damage that it looks like this is just a spot of so many others across this area that have just gotten completely devastated. Now, thankfully, we didn't deal with the surge, the storm surge that we saw in Mexico Beach. Boy, oh boy. I mean, you want to see catastrophic damage. You go to Mexico Beach, I mean, the town's completely ruined. Unfortunately, it's sad. It's very sad. This is a marina that harbors a lot of boats. They store them up in multiple levels. They thought their boats would be safe. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. In fact, we have some video of what it looks like in the daytime, kind of give you a better perspective of what we're dealing with. You can see how there's water kind of spewing off. There's water main leaks, pipes broken. All this aluminum is just kind of flinging around. And at the height of the storm, I mean, these are like missiles. You have shingles about, trees blocking roads, down trees that are like snapped, almost like tornadic-like damage, where they're just like cut off at the base. So that's a lot of what we've seen here. Down power lines, roofs partially destroyed, a lot of signs down, roads blocked. That's kind of been the gist, and there's even some flooding from the rain. And another thing that people don't understand is that a lot of interior walls in people's homes, and especially the high-rises, they actually dealt with flooding, not from storm surge, Carl, but from the rain. From the rain, the wind brings that rain in, and even at our hotel, a brand new structure right here on Panama City Beach, they had water flooding the rooms where the wind was pushing that water into, leaking through the windows, leaking through the lights and the air vents. I mean, it's going to be some damage to clean that up and clean that all, get that all dry, Carl.
Yeah, a lot of water damage, and we saw a tremendous amount of surge in some areas of the coastline, including in St. Mark's. Take a look at this video. This is time-lapse video, and this is one of the most surge-vulnerable parts of the entire country. Watch as the water starts coming up here and then gets way up there. And this is fairly far inland where this occurred. This is not right on the beach. And so this is precisely what we were concerned about, that we would see this really catastrophic water rise. When you have that level of a water rise, it really does become life-threatening. There's just so much motion in that water, and who knows what else is in that water. A lot of times debris. We've seen some other videos of there being quite a bit of debris in that surge. So it was just a devastating storm surge. And in fact, in Apalachicola, it is the #1 storm surge on record. It came in at 7.2 feet, and that beat the old record by a pretty good bit, which was set back in 2005. So just a terrific amount of storm surge flooding. That threat is now coming down, but we've still got very strong winds now across a lot of South Georgia, gusting to hurricane force. We're going to be talking more about that coming up at the top of the hour. We'll have much more on Michael.
These books are not bestsellers, but each tells a financial story, and one is about you. Bankers and lenders are reading and judging it, whether good or not so good. Shouldn't you read it too? Now, for the first time, you can, free. See how your story is being told with your free Experian Financial Profile. Only at Experian.com/profile.
You never forget your first race. And you never back down from the next. You're the brotherhood of muscle.
I'm Nathan Weens. I've always loved building furniture. Each piece of wood has its own personality. It's my job to bring it out. That's why I trust Varathane.
Varathane Stain is engineered to give true color in one coat, and our triple-thick polyurethane protects with the durability of 3 coats in just one, making it easy for anybody to get the ultimate in color and protection in less time.
I always start projects knowing how I'm going to finish.
Don't just finish it, Varathane it. Available at the Home Depot.
This is my body proof.
Proof of less joint pain.
And clearer skin.
Proof that I can fight psoriatic arthritis.
With Humira.
Humira targets and blocks a specific source of inflammation that contributes to both joint and skin symptoms. It's proven to help relieve pain, stop further irreversible joint damage, and clear skin in many adults. Humira is the #1 prescribed biologic for psoriatic arthritis.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Ask your rheumatologist about Humira.
Go to mypsaproof.com to see proof in action.
Maybe a lot lot of people have forgotten the value of a hard day's work, but we see it every day.
Enjoyed for 125 years by those who work hard. Maxwell House, good to the last drop.
To err is human. To anticipate is Lexus. Experience the Lexus RX with advanced safety. Standard. Experience amazing.
Olay Regenerist wipes out the competition. Hydrating better than $100, $200, even $400 creams. With our B3 complex, beautiful skin doesn't have to cost a fortune. Olay.
It was like being in a tornado that usually just comes by kind of fast, but lasted 4 hours.
It was like a tornado, but it was a hurricane by the name of Michael coming through and delivering a dangerous blow to many parts of the North Florida Panhandle. Welcome back into our coverage of tracking Michael. I am meteorologist Tevin Wooten, live for you in Tallahassee, Florida. This place has been on standby for the better part of 3 days, anticipating a lot of downed trees here in the city of Tallahassee, and that's exactly what we have according to the police department here. It's known for its canopy oaks. It's tall, toppling pine trees that topple right over several roads and homes and businesses, and they're beautiful and gorgeous and majestic until they come down, and that's what we've seen across the city. Because as Michael moved north and east, we got some of those outer bands, and we're still getting gusts tonight around 30 to 40 miles an hour, and that was the case for the better part of the day. Some 12 hours we've been in and out of those wind gusts that have been at least tropical storm force. The highest gust, get this, 69 miles an hour registered at the airport. What does that do? It brings those trees down. Imagine you're in home, sheltering in place, and this is what you see. A tree coming through your roof, piercing right through that roof. Take a look at this photo there. That's what one Tallahassee resident saw. And that's why it's important to sort of have a shelter that's away from those trees. And in Tallahassee, I know it's hard because there are so many trees. I think about 50%, if not more, of the city is covered in canopy oaks and tall pine trees. 6 shelters open, about 1,200 to 1,300 people still in those shelters tonight. The mayor issuing a statement saying, or issuing an update rather, saying that they've still got crews on standby the moment that those gusts get away from tropical storm force. And I think we're on the decline here, not just out of the woods just yet, but the moment those gusts go down,